What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news, and the clock is ticking as Raw prepares to leave the Thunderdome, and in the upcoming Money in the Bank qualifiers, and there's bound to be lots of twists and turns on the Red brand. So join us now as we look at this week's Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Mr. McMahon looking for the next big superstar, Sasha Banks about to get cancelled, Charlotte Flair just doesn't care, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just provide you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good is number 1, a strong start. Raw started off to a strong start by booking a battle royal to determine who will fill in Randy Orton's spot in the main event qualifier for the men's Money in the Bank. The match featured the usual group of mid-carders as well as rising stars like Matt Riddle and Damian Priest. The WWE may want to consider a battle royal next year to determine a wild-card entrant into the Money in the Bank, and dare we say it adds some structure to the process for determining who enters the monumental ladder match. Number 2, the power of promos. Last night's showdown between Kofi Kingston and WWE Champion Bobby Lashley's manager MVP was well played, with both men showing their promo prowess as they ran each other down. The two exchanged verbal volleys, with the Dreadlock Dynamo arguing that Lashley is getting weaker every week and Kofi is ready to take the title at Money in the Bank. MVP countered by saying Kofi's power of positivity message is a sham and that he's as driven by ego as Bobby Lashley is. MVP taunting Kofi by reminding him how much the WWE Champion enjoyed beating up Xavier Woods last week was a classic heel promo and a reminder of why MVP excels as Lashley's manager. This segment proved not only the power of positivity, but the power of a strong promo in building the fans' interest in a match. Number 3, Ricochet ramps it up. Ricochet is an amazing performer who the WWE is constantly trying to figure out how to push. One week he's a star, while the next week he's a jobber to the stars. Whatever his role, Ricochet excels in the ring, as seen by last night's match against John Morrison and the incredible spot where he sprung off Miz's wheelchair and delivered a Hurricane Rana to Johnny Drip Drip. Let's also not forget him leaping off the top rope and off onto the barricade. That was just mad. Never seen anything like that in wrestling before. Number 5, Nikki kicks Ash. Congratulations to Nikki Ash, almost a superhero, who push as a comedic camped crusader has given her a much needed career push. Cross is too talented just to sit on the sidelines, and while it's too early to tell if she's going to enjoy a sustained push, her win over Shayna Baszler was a good sign that they want to treat her as a star rather than a sideshow act. Nikki's comments that she's working her way up to the Women's Championship shot is something the WWE should do with all its contenders. Establish that road to a title shot that doesn't come quick, and that wrestlers are always striving to win in order to advance up the rankings. And number 5, Riddle's comedy gold. Like most WWE superstars, there's no denying Riddle's talent, but wrestling's ultimate bro has much more to offer, including his outstanding comedy character whose unlikely friendship with Randy Orton continues to entertain. The former US champion's efforts to get himself included in the Battle Royal with a supposed note from Randy Orton was hilarious, and Pearce and Sonya Deville did a good job playing along with Riddle's lame attempt at fooling them. Riddle has been a highlight on Raw, and while we never like to see a wrestler work more than once, Riddle performed well and kept things interesting. It's too bad that he didn't earn a spot in the men's Money in the Bank match, as there's no telling what kind of hijinks would have ensued. But that was the good. What about the bad? As number 1, Shayna shouldn't be surprised. Now we're downright disgusted with the tired trope of Shayna Baszler getting distracted and losing a match through a roll-up. By this point in her career, Shayna shouldn't be caught off guard every week unless the WWE plans on doing a convoluted angle of her losing her winning edge and the Queen of Spades fighting to get it back. As bad as Shayna's been booked, the WWE's lazy finishes for her matches show how little they care about her as a character. Number 2, where's Randy? Randy Orton's absence was definitely felt on Raw, as the Red brand's resident Stone Cold Killer has been on fire for the last year and a half, and his new team with Riddle has provided an interesting and fun spin on his character, as they wonder how long before the Viper will take out the seemingly oblivious Riddle. Although it would be good to see it go the other way around and Riddle turning on Orton. While it's understandable that superstars can't always make the show, the WWE's lame excuse that Orton was off Raw due to circumstances beyond his control had best be part of a storyline, or it's further evidence of how rotten Raw's writers can be. Number 3, Eva Marie gets the win. It's difficult to look at Eva Marie's win as anything but bad. Normally a wrestler should get wins if the WWE wants the fans to take them seriously, but the WWE is going about things the wrong way. The WWE's idea of Doudrop doing all the work and Eva Marie taking all the credit is a good way to build up heel heat, It's difficult to make the case that the fans care about Doudrop or that they even care about Eva Marie. Perhaps the worst part is that talented wrestlers like Naomi and Asuka have to count the lights for Eva Marie and Doudrop when they should be competing for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And Charlotte and Rhea's flawed feud. The current feud between Charlotte Flair and Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley is a disaster, leading to the question, what is with the Raw Women's Championship? What should be a white-hot feud between a young champion and a cagey veteran looking to regain the championship has turned into a basic by-the-numbers program with little heat and no reason for fans to become invested in the storylines or the subsequent matches. The storylines built around the belt have been a mess ever since Becky Lynch took time off to become a mom. Does the WWE's creative team feel that only Becky deserves their best efforts? Is Vince McMahon concerned that a popular program with the champ and latest challenger could hurt the man's popularity when she returns? On one hand, it's hard to believe that even Raw's writers can find a way to book a feud between Ripley and Flair that was somewhat entertaining. On the other hand, the storyline is so bad you can't help but ask whether the WWE is sandbagging the Raw Women's Championship picture until Lynch returns. Now, there was nothing downright ugly about last night's Raw, and despite some flaws, the Red brand has improved in the last 2 weeks, leading to us wondering if Raw and SmackDown's writers have switched places given SmackDown's lackluster showing last week. Raw has been producing more good matches than is usual as well, pushing undercard stars on a regular basis, and even adding some plot lines behind each match. What did you guys think of Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Vince looking for the next big superstar. Topping today's news, Vince McMahon is on the prowl and looking for the next big superstar for the WWE. If you've been following our news videos, you know several wrestling pundits believe the WWE's recent releases are part of a move to free up money for new hires and that Vince McMahon is looking for young and larger wrestlers to join the WWE. Now Fightful Select is reporting that Vinnie Mac is headed to the Performance Center in order to scout new talent. The major scouting effort has led to influential names in the company personally coming to the Performance Center to scout talent, with Vince McMahon being scheduled to be there this week, with Thursday being the date. Who do you think will catch Vinnie Mac's eye? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Charlotte just doesn't care. Does Charlotte care what the WWE thinks about her appearing with fiancé and new AEW star Andrade? Or maybe not. How about the two appearing on Andrade's Instagram account with her wearing a WWE hat and him wearing an AEW hat? Well, maybe, but Charlotte doesn't seem to care as she's seen smiling in the gym alongside her fiancé Andrade. Do you think there could be any heat on Charlotte for doing this photograph? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, where was Randy Orton? Randy Orton was missing from Raw as noted in our analysis of last night's show. However, according to PW Insider, Orton was not seen backstage and there's no clear indication backstage last night as to why Randy Orton was not on Raw. Hopefully he'll be back next week. And finally, Sasha Banks about to be cancelled? Last but not least is Sasha Banks' Hollywood career about to be cancelled. Banks was praised by fans for her supporting role on Season 2 of The Mandalorian, but now it looks like the boss could go from hero to zero thanks to her liking a post by an anti-vaxxer. Website Inside the Magic is reporting, now WWE superstar Banks has come under fire for liking a particular Instagram post that feels like it could incite drama reminiscent of the Gina Carano situation all over again. Banks liked a post by Anis Insights that shared a number of opinions about not receiving the COVID-19 vaccination. Now, whether you agree or disagree with anti-vaxxers, should liking a social media post lead to such a potential firestorm of controversy? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.